Well, Khalil Sayegh is a Palestinian political analyst who learned of his father, Jeries Sayegh's death earlier today. His father was among others sheltering at the Holy Family Catholic Church in Gaza. And he joins us live now from Washington, D.C. First of all, our deepest sympathies to you and your family over the death of your father. And we thank you for talking to us at this difficult time. Can you tell us, first of all, about the circumstances of what happened here and how you learned of your father's death?
Yeah, thanks, Hazem, for having me, and thanks for adding this context. Today in the morning, I just received a call from my cousin who's in Ramallah telling me, have you talked to your parents today? Me saying no, but I think they're okay because I heard yesterday that the snipers that were around the church that shot down two of the women at the church who were killed and others who were wounded are no longer there, and I felt that it's more safe. And then she said, I hate to break it down to you, but your father passed away. Your father wasn't able to be transported to a hospital when his health has deterred, and thus your father died. It was very hard to hear that, but even more hard that I wasn't for hours able to even know what happened to my father due to the lack of connection with Gaza and cell phone services. And I had to really wait in hours just to know if my father was buried or not. How did he die? And the circumstances surrounding his death. So
from what you're saying, there was an opportunity for your father to get treatment for his injuries, but because of the insecurity there, he never got that chance.
Yeah, for sure. For the last 2 days, the Israeli army has completely besieged the church, hunted down 2 women who were killed on the spot, and wounded another 7 people who tried to hold or carry these 2 women from within the compound of the church, as Pope Francis himself also referred to the incident. So there was an opportunity to not only save my father, who his health has been deterred in the last 2 days, that yet they find no hospitals or ambulances, but also there are 7 people who are wounded in the church since 3 days, and they're still bleeding without any medical care. And we are afraid, at least, that one of these people at the church, as I heard today from the priest, that she will pass away as well.
And while this is something that has affected you personally, I know because we introduced you as a political analyst and someone who studies Palestinian politics. How should we view this in the context of the wider conflict?
It seems that there is very intentional Israeli policy of making sure the Palestinians don't get the things they need, whether it's food or medical attention or even access to hospitals. The way we understand it and the way we look at it is that there is an Israeli attention and policy to push the Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip. They want to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip. They want to reoccupy Gaza fully. And the more they make the humanitarian catastrophe worse in Gaza, the more it is likely that people would leave from Gaza Strip. So now, given that Egypt has closed the border and given that Egypt did not allow Palestinians to leave from Gaza, I think that the Israelis are sort of still confused on what's the next step, but yet they did never change these policies. There's no other explanation for why there is not even one functioning hospital in the north of Gaza, except that there is an attempt to ethnically cleanse, or there is a potential even genocidal intentions there. So there is no other way, as far as I'm concerned analytically, beside that the Israelis don't want to see Palestinians continue living in Gaza Strip.
Can I ask you, Khalil, when was the last time you spoke to your father, and how did he feel about what was happening there?
Yeah, the truth is I couldn't speak to him for the last few weeks because of the lack of cell phone services. The painful part is my communication with my family since they moved to the church after the bombing of our house toward the very beginning of the war has been through just the word of mouth of hearing from other people. And all what I was waiting for every day is someone to tell me, I talked to someone at the church, your family is alive. Literally, that's the only thing I'm waiting for every day. But how does my father feel about the situation? Knowing my father, having spent time with him and talking to him about it. He's a very peaceful person. He's not a person of war. He does not believe in war. He always told me and taught me that you should be like Christ. You should forgive others. You should forgive even your enemy and even love your enemy. You should seek peace. And knowing my father, he would be against this war. He would be even against the Hamas horrific attack on October 7th. And he would be someone that sympathizes with civilians, both Israelis and Palestinians, thinking and saying all the time that everyone is created in the image of God.
Well, your father sounds like a wonderful man, and we appreciate you talking to us about him, and our deepest sympathies to you, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Hazem.